Hello, good morning to my Facebook friends and so on. Welcome to a very rainy and wet campsite here in Gunma, close to Ose National Park. We're about a 4-hour drive from Tokyo here, on a lovely little campsite, as you can see. It's very, the weather's been very British at the moment, ironically. It's mid-July. It shouldn't be so wet, really. Japan gets like a rainy season in June. Normally kind of dies out the first couple of weeks of July. It's now sort of the end of July and it's still raining, which is unfortunate because we're on a camping holiday, but also kind of typical and predictable in a weird, cynical British kind of way. But fortunately, we do not have to sleep outside in a tent like those pesky, or rather poor people who sleep in tents, which was me for pretty much all of my life up until this point, because we have a camper van. Yay! This is it. It's built by, I think, Nuts RV, built in Japan, of course, based on a Toyota chassis. It's almost new. I think it's about a year old, this camper van. And now I will show you a little bit about it. So we picked it up from Higashi Omiya. A friend of mine works in the motorhome industry and he was able to help us out organising the collection and so forth. It wasn't so cheap to rent altogether. These things aren't. They sell for about, in British money, about £62,000, brand new, which is quite a lot of money. However, it is quite lovely. I'll show you the outside first. Here it's got obviously a little canopy. You can open that out. We did that when we first arrived. It was open out for a couple of days. I'm sure there's a picture somewhere of it. These are storage. The one at the bottom actually is just a false door. There's nothing behind there other than space and eventually an exhaust pipe. This one here, this one allows access to the storage, which is underneath the bed at the back. This door offering the same as well. Oh my gosh, what's this? It's a ladder. I'm obviously gonna climb it. The roof of the camper van. This is it. There's a solar panel on it that charges the leisure battery when you are, you know, not driving. It does work. We went away yesterday for a hike, came back like 3 hours later, and it was, the battery had gone fully charged. You could probably stand on the roof. I'm not going to because I'm holding a brand new iPhone and I don't want to put it down in order to climb on the roof. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm sure you can put canoes on there and probably have cocktails on the roof if you really should so wish. I'm not going to because it's raining. Again, false door and then access to the rear compartment. There's your fuel tank. This one's diesel. Might be the first diesel thing I've actually driven in Japan because everything here is petrol or gasoline. This is where you plug it into the mains. We can plug it into just normal domestic house socket, and that will actually charge the leisure batteries and power the bits of electricity inside. Ancillaries, is that what they're called? What's this one? That's just a hole. Maybe that's your washer fluid and stuff in there. Well, I broke it now, haven't I? Wait, hang on. Shh. Not broken, I promise. Yeah, anyway, that's enough about the outside. I showed a cabin before we go into the actual main bit. This is where you sit and stuff and drive. There's 3 seats in the front. This is a little jump seat just here, so you can put that up. You got 3 seats in the front. Automatic gearbox, because you know this is Japan. It's kind of like a little truck up here. It's not so comfortable, really. It's not uncomfortable. You kind of it's just kind of some sort of small truck to drive. But it's got electric windows and it's got air conditioning, so it's got and then it's got quite a nice little sort of infotainment system. It's probably, you know, a few years old, the infotainment system, but I can connect my phone, so we've got like Spotify and things like that, which is cool. I've never had a speedo that only goes up to 100 miles an hour before. I think the highest I've seen is half that. It's not a dynamic vehicle really. But yeah, it's kind of nice, kind of a chill little driving experience. You sit kind of high up. It's got a driving cam in there as well, so you can see what happens when you crash. But anyway, let's go inside. Now I must take my shoes off before I go inside, because #this is Japan. This is our trash. We have to carry our trash with us because the campsite doesn't have bins. It's a thing in Japan. Places don't have bins. And here we are. That's Mayumi. She's tidying up. She loves tidying up. That's Pushin. She loves chicken. And yeah, welcome inside our camper van. This is the main bed. This is the big bed at the back. It doesn't fold or anything. This is your mattress that you've got underneath. It's not the comfiest bed I've slept on by a long way, but it's not like the least comfortable. We've not had like superb night sleeps since we've been here. One thing to note though, I'm 6'4" or like 195 centimeters. I do fit. So if you're tall, you will fit horizontally in this van. This is what you're looking at when you're chilling in your little perch. One thing you'll note, especially anyone not Japanese, there is no stove, there is no cooker in this van. There is a sink with, it has hot water, it has cold water, maybe it has hot water. We've not even tried it, to be honest. We barely use it other than putting empty beer cans in, and we bought a tree. It's not drinking water because I think, you know, sanitary reasons, it probably doesn't get used enough to clean the pipes out and stuff. But you can use it to wash your hands and, you know, rinse bits off and things like that. But there's no stove. Now, the guy that I rented this from, the reason there isn't a stove, he said, is that generally the wives of Japanese couples, they would like a break from cooking, because that's what they do at home largely. A lot of Japanese women don't work, they are housewives, and the men just too lazy. So when they're on holiday, nobody cooks. Instead, they just get like a bento box from a convenient, like a lunch box from a convenience store, and they just eat that instead. It's a little bit disappointing in a way. I would love to have a little stove in my camper van, and I think there are versions of a similar sort of van to this that you can get with a stove. There's obviously space for one. You just move the sink over 6 inches and you put a stove just there. However, this one doesn't have it, and that's kind of a common thing here in Japan. We did adjust for this by bringing along a small little gas stove ourselves, which we just happen to own, and that does the job really of cooking. You just put it outside and you cook on that. And there's usually, as you may see on the photos and stuff, like a little area that you can cook on, that kind of stuff. These are all your controls for your bits and pieces. This one, that's your main power switch. This one is for a heater. It's a diesel heater, small diesel heater. There's a little pump in the bottom. We don't need that, it's like 25 degrees at the moment. And this one is a rear cooler. It only works when the engine is running, but it does have aircon in the back. And there's little vents just here, which will make it nice and cool. So I guess if it's like really hot in the summertime, you can just leave the engine ticking over and you can get some nice cool air back here. But to be honest, go swimming or something, right? Don't sit in an air-conditioned plastic box. There's storage here as well. Storage here, storage here, storage here. They're quite nice and deep, these pockets. We've got wine and saucepans and things like that in there, which I know, right? You do hear them rattle around and stuff a bit when you're driving. This is the fridge. Now the fridge is exciting for us because it's pretty much identical to the fridge that we have in our apartment in Tokyo. If not, maybe a touch bigger actually. We live in the smallest apartment. It's cute though. Yeah, standard fridge. You've got a freezer compartment at the top which does work and does freeze things. Nothing in there at the moment now. We need to go and buy ice cream, of course. And a little sort of... Mum, if you are watching this, they are real vegetables. I did not buy plastic ones and put them there to make it look like we eat relatively healthily. They are real vegetables and we do sometimes eat them. That's the kitchen. Or rather, you know, it's not really a kitchen, it's just a sink and a fridge. This is your lounge area here. Now this does turn into a bed as well. So you can collapse this table by, you lift up this little, you lift it up, take it away, fold it down, and you can store that just by the window underneath there. And then you can take these cushions and you can put them in between. And this makes your, like another bed, basically. What's quite interesting though is these are rated as seats for driving with seat belts and everything. So this is actually a 5-person camper van. So you can have 5 people sat here. I've not had the pleasure of being able to sit back here because Amy doesn't want to drive too far on the roads in the camper van. She's driven it a little bit, but yeah. So you can have two people sat back here, cruising along, looking out of the window with their beer in the cup holders, and then 3 in the front. There is actually another section here for the seat as well. It's in the storage area at the moment, but that then makes you can have 5 people sat here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Bit of storage here. This is for your shoes, of course. It's dirty because, you know, it's your shoes. And this is your electric cable just under here, and that's what you can plug in to the outside, which will give you your leisure batteries and your power. And I guess that's a vent there for either a heater or a cooler. And another little shelf here, just by the door, in case you want to keep your wife outside. Like, can't come in, there's a shelf in the way. How you doing, Miami? Finally, just up here, there's another bed. You can pull this out. Beep. And then pull the cushions down, and you've got your 3rd bed up here. This one is actually like the longest bed in terms of space, but it is quite shallow as well. So we considered sleeping up here at first, but because it was quite shallow and it was actually quite warm that day, we chose not to. Instead, we slept in the back. But yeah, it's pretty nice. You've got speakers here as well, which you can connect your phone to the Bluetooth, and they'll actually play music boo, boo, boo at the back. The worst thing about that is you have to have the ignition on the first notch in order to play the music, but it's all right. We've not flattened the battery yet. Are you enjoying our camping experience, Miami? It's nice, isn't it? But yeah, that is our camping car, or camper van, or RV, or motorhome, or automobile, or little plastic box on wheels. Enjoy your day. We will. Thank you.